Alright YouTube, so this is Nathan from Overland UAS with a film that I've been meaning to do for about 8 months and I've just literally not had the time. Although it's October 2016, I'm going to pretend that it's May 2016. I actually did a film back in May, but just never got around to posting it, and by the time I get around to chopping and organising it all, it would be faster just to sit down and just to chat for 5 minutes. So this is a short film, nothing exciting, really basically talking about my first year as a commercial drone operator in the United Kingdom, my experiences and my suggestions if you are thinking of doing the same qualification. 2 years ago I sold my recruitment company, sat watching TV really late at night. There was a documentary on BBC about Amazon doing drone delivery services, and I thought, there could be a requirement for drone pilots and insurance and research and development and engineers. So I set up what, as a drone recruitment company, ran it for about 8 weeks, got zero business, realised the reason why I was getting no business was that the industry was still in its infancy. There wasn't a great deal of pilots out there, therefore there wasn't a great deal of work out there. So I thought, instead of just sitting around and waiting for the industry to grow, I would join it as a pilot. And it's almost 2 years to the day. I'd researched, decided that I was going to go with Euro USC. Course cost about 1,800 quid. That's a 2-day theory course, followed up with about 3 or 4 months of practicing and getting my operations manual complete. It'll be a video for another day. And basically waiting for the weather to change. But I got my license in May of 2015, and I'd already approached a handful of small businesses in my local area to get my promotional show reel done. First thing you need to get, after you've got your webpage, you've got your company name decided, you're going to need to get a show reel, which is fundamentally how you're going to bring in business. So I'd approached some local businesses, a couple of estate agents, a golf club. I offered to do the work completely free of charge, got certain insurances put in place that would allow me to operate in a commercial environment but without taking any money. By the time my permission for area of the work came through from the CAA, I was ready to go. I used the client base that I'd worked with from a voluntary perspective to generate contracts and clients commercially. So for example, Wheatley Golf Course, really beautiful golf course near me, had offered to do them an aerial film free of charge. Was then able to use that footage to approach another local golf course and say, look, this is what I've done for them, this is what I can do for you. And that was one of my first paid jobs. The best thing that's ever happened to me in the drone industry has been the construction world. I approached a local building contractor that had bought a plot of land in my local village, flattened 2 houses, had plans or was in the process of building 40 new homes. I put a phone call in, just luckily enough got hold of the sales manager, who said, yeah, I'm in your village this afternoon if you want to come down and have a look. I think they were willing for me to go down and have a look just to appease me as a local resident. But I took down some hot chocolates and some donuts for the lads on site. Within 5 minutes of being with them, they wanted to see what it was that I meant by a drone. Took the Inspire out the box, found a safe place to put it up in front of the sales director, who then called over the site manager, who within 5 minutes to close the entire site, passed a spare iPad around so guys could have a look at their development. I'm not going to go into the details now, but within a week I'd filmed 3 or 4 of their previous sites and pretty much agreed within that week a daily rate. I'll talk about daily rates later, but a daily rate that I was happy with and they were happy with. And I've certainly had a minimum of 500 to 2,000 pounds worth a month of business just out of that one building contractor. That's been every month since kind of June as of last year. I did 11 sites for them in September. Culmination of aerial 360s, 360 pan-hours, some topographical surveys using Maps Made Easy. But what they've done is they've taken my raw footage and they drop CGI footage over the top. Again, a film for another day. What that's done is it's given other building contractors a kick up the arse. It's given design companies, architectural companies in my area. I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm sure there'll be companies that have been doing this for a while, but certainly in my area, it's been a bit of they've kind of pioneered this new use of drones, specifically in the construction industry. And off the back of that, I've had 5 or 6 estate agents get in touch that have seen aerial films of building sites that have either started, are in the progress, or have been finished. They're then selling a house from a building contractor that I've already done work with. I've got the aerial shots throughout the entire progression. So from an estate agent's point of view, they can ring me up and they can get, fantastic aerial shots of a house that they're in the process of selling, which, puts them one ahead of their competition. It's allowed me to go and work with other construction engineering companies. I've done some wind farms, I've done some offshore oil inspections. Because I've worked now with this small construction company that's owned by a bigger construction company, the parent company, so to speak, an organisation called GMI Construction. They've built, nuclear power plants. They build a lot of schools for the governments. They've recently built the shopping centre that's just been finished in Leeds. They actually built one of the local football club stadiums. So, using them as a contact, I was able to approach my local football club to give them some aerial pictures. That spiralled into working with the club, following the club for a year, following the academy for 6 months, doing work with the community's charitable trust. Off the back of that, obviously the football world is exceptionally tight. It's close-knit, it's not easy to get into. You get the right contact in the right club, that opens up the doors. I've gone from then being able to film my local club to going down to London to film Premiership clubs, up to the northeast to film some Premiership clubs, and all the clubs in between. So First Division, Premiership, and was given the opportunity to go to St George's Park in Derby to do some work with the FA, which is the governing body of the football world. So that is, been a fantastic opportunity for me. In addition to that, in my local area, July of last year, I drove past a big lake in my town. There was lots of flags, lots of noise, and lots of jet skis flying across on the lake at 90 miles an hour. Like I always do, I just kind of knocked on the door, spoke to the council representative who was there, who put me in touch with the chairman of the JSRA, which is the Jet Sport Racing Association of Great Britain. Showed them my credentials, showed them my drone, showed them some of the other work that I'd done. The following day, they paid me to basically do some filming of the jet skis. Really, really well received. I was then invited back a month later to film again. So from, spending a weekend with them, I think it was in April of last year, we were at Kingsbury Jet Bike Centre, produced 3 or 4 films that got quite a lot of views. Then kind of the following month, more films. Went from kind of producing 2-3 minute edits to producing 30-40 minute films. So that's been a really good experience. That is potentially looking to maybe hit TV screens maybe next year, 2017. So going forward, would I recommend, if I was in my position now 2 years later, would I recommend being a drone pilot? Yes, I would. First off, it is an awesome job. I have travelled the length and breadth of the United Kingdom, not been lucky enough to take it abroad yet, but that's always a possibility. The length and breadth of the UK, seeing things that I would never have seen up close, whether that's castles, stately homes, Premiership football clubs, nuclear refineries, whatever it is. I've had an opportunity to get up close and personal with all of them, met some absolutely fantastic people. I've taken my creative mind from putting things in front of me and showing them to friends and family to actually having the confidence to be able to put them online. So yeah, it's been an interesting first year, stroke 18 months. I haven't needed to get another job, which is great. So I've been full time on this. There's, I think when I joined the industry, there was 400 people on the CAA's register with a license. I checked the other day, and it was just short of 2,000. But there has been a noticeable drop. I would suggest that at least 400 people that got the license, let's say in 2015, have not renewed in 2016. My suggestion to that is not that the industry doesn't have any money in it, or it's not that there's nobody taking up drones. I think it's your approach to it. I think if you are going to rely on an exceptionally well edited show reel and trying to pay lots of money to get to the top of Google AdWords, you're going to struggle. That's not where the business is at the moment. You are in a completely new industry. Therefore, 90% of the people you approach are either not sure about whether they want to use a drone or what the benefit would be of using a drone. So that's your responsibility to encourage them. Partly, you are a drone pilot, you're a company director, but potentially over and above all those things, you're a sales manager. You need to go out, you need to generate revenue, you need to generate contacts, contracts, client bases, and be able to give your clients real value. So this is literally just really wanted to kind of just get a video out there. I've not posted anything for about 2 years, 18 months. My videos that I've posted and put real effort into over the last kind of 18 months get, between 200 and maybe 1,000 views. My blog posts, my most popular video, believe it or not, that took no time, no editing. It was just one take. It was one afternoon. It was how to put on the DJI harness that you get with the Inspire 1. I think my last check is like 4,000 views, which is great that I've helped 4,000 people potentially wear the DJI harness, but really annoys me the fact that I can spend hours and weeks and months editing a film and posting it, and it gets like 100 views, and something that takes me 5 minutes gets 5,000. But I guess that's just YouTube. So my intention is not to sing about how great I am, because there are far better drone pilots out there, far more knowledgeable drone pilots and drone companies out there. That the guys were building these things in their bedroom 10 years ago. I am the DJI effect. I'm the Apple effect. Had DJI not created a drone that you could take out of a box, attach an iPad to, and ostensibly fly within 5 minutes of switching it on, I probably wouldn't have got into the industry, because I wasn't technically minded enough to be able to build a drone in my bedroom. I'm getting there. I am putting a lot more time and effort into understanding the principles of how drones operate, because in my opinion, the real money in our industry is not flying a drone. It's developing a drone or an application for a drone in business. Again, blog post for another day. How I'm approaching clients is a video that I'd like to talk to you about. I'd like to talk about some of the equipment that I'm using, the Inspires, the upgraded X5 cameras, whether the Osmo's worth it. One of the major blog posts that I want to talk about is you're more than just a drone pilot, and I think that's going to be the title of the next video. I started off sitting down thinking I'm going to fly a drone and that's where my money's going to come from. Yeah, I have made money from my drone, but a big percentage of my income comes from this thing, a ground-based camera. And I would suggest anybody that is sitting there watching this video thinking I'm going to be a drone pilot and that's all I'm going to do, I think at the moment you're probably going to struggle. There isn't the industry right now for you to just fly a drone. If you want to be busy 5 days a week and earning, 30, 40, 50 grand a year, which I think is generally the target that most people as a small business owner look to earn. It's certainly nowhere near what I would earn if I wanted to go back into the recruitment industry. But at the end of the day, I'm sat talking to a camera in my log cabin at the bottom of my garden at 5 o'clock in the evening, as opposed to sitting in traffic driving back from sitting in an office all day long. So I don't have the job stability that maybe you might have sat watching this from the office. However, the difference between you and me is I'm at home in my office and you're in your office at work. So if you have a creative eye, if you have £6,000-7,000 sat away, and you are a bit of a risk taker, And I don't mean that a risk taker is in, you're going to fly a drone through the middle of London city centre, get some awesome footage, but get arrested. I mean a risk taker in setting up a business, becoming self-employed. You can get your head around that. You can succeed in my industry. It wasn't supposed to be a long video. I've rambled far longer than I wanted to. Stay in touch. I'm not interested in likes or subscriptions or anything like that. If you are thinking about joining the industry or you've recently joined, these videos are focused on you. I hope they're helpful. Take care. Bye-bye.